dear friends. Welcome to our online classes of Pedagogy 3000 or Education 3000. I am Noemi Paimal, and today we are going to share more tools. It's going to be the Practical Pedagogical Tools 3000 Part 2. And it's fun to have a lot of tools. Look at the first one. Yes, mud. Still, we are still with the video on bio-intelligent tools. We saw last time that bio-intelligent tools means a tool that's worked by itself, by themselves. It's easy to do. It's always fun, and the kids almost they learn by themselves. The tool is teaching for you, basically. That's why it's called bio-intelligent. It's clever. This is, on the slide, we can see mud, to play with mud. I know the parents, they don't like it very much, but it's so much fun. It's very good to release emotions. It's very good for, it's therapy. And there is something with the mud, it's telluric energy, it's from the earth. It's very healthy, actually. Well, if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. We can always do ceramic, clay, do clay pot and play with the clay, and this is not so messy. Or you can do it with this, you know, it's I don't know the name. It's a machine and it goes around and you can do all the pots like that, or you can do it by hand. You can do some figures and then you cook them, you paint them, and you can do anything you want with the clay, any kind of art. The other one is yoga for kids. It can be yoga for kids. There is activities with cards, and you can do all the movement with according to the card you have. You can do yoga for kids with a story. You can do acro yoga. That's for the young people, where it's more acrobatic, and you do all the yoga, but you lift up. I mean, it's called acro yoga. It's you lift up with your legs, and you are doing the yoga on the legs of somebody. It's fun. I hope you understood. Type acro, from acrobatic, acro yoga, or duplex. Yoga duplex is 2 persons doing yoga, and it's fun too. We can mention capoeira. Capoeira is from Brazil. It's very good. It's very complete. It's music. It's be together. It's very cool movement, and it has a spirit to it. I really recommend capoeira and martial art. So martial art, when the kids, for the kids or for the young people, I would suggest the fast martial arts, which can be Aikido, Karate, Kung Fu, Taekwondo. For the adults, like the teachers, the parents, maybe something softer like Tai Chi or Qigong. That's very good. You can really see the difference. A kid that does martial art is more coordinated, is more respectful to the tradition, to the teacher, to the companions, to the peers, and is open to multicultural things, like he will know, usually they know some Chinese, some Japanese, they know how to count. They are more balanced, I would say. I would recommend any message you can see on the slide as well, with water, any exercise with water. You know, we can do the exercise of Masaru Emoto, like talk to the water and see the difference. You can talk to the rice too. There is an exercise, very nice. You cook the rice and you say rice, and this rice is going to be nice and smell good for 1 month. Or you'd say bad things to the rice and the rice will turn black and it will smell bad. So it's so important for the kids to understand that. And anything with physical water too, and anything with ecology, do some campaign with the ecology environment. Plant trees. I would recommend to plant like 100 trees per grade per year. You can have a covenant with the town hall, with whoever is in charge of your town, of your village, of your community. have the small trees, and with the help of everybody, with the neighbors and the neighbor community, the parents and the teachers and all the children, to participate in reforest the area and plant trees. And have, of course, your biogarden. The biogarden, if you don't have enough place, you can have vertical, you know, on the wall you can have all the plant. Or you can have in a pot, you can have your pot inside the classroom, and the plant are part of the classroom, and you can do some, you can germinate, you know, the sprout. And the kids, they are with them, and they are in charge of their plants. That's very important. Here on the slide, we can see other techniques. One is relax. They lie down on the floor and they relax. And there is some techniques with visualization and tension, distension of the body. The other circle is a circle of visualization. So you tell a story, and the kid, they go inside and they follow the story. Or the same kid, they can do the story or the visualization, and they follow, the peers, they follow too. And according to the subject of what you want to do this week. The other slide is outside. We can do meditation outside or listen to the birds and do some connection with nature. It's very good as well. Other would be hugging. The other one is the pets. Yes, the pet, the love, it's simple for them. Clown. But clown, not the clown before, like you always fall down and everybody make jokes of you and they laugh of, I mean, it's not respectful. I would say the new kind of circus, a new kind of clown, where there is so much respect that is more subtle. If not, they don't like it, the kids. Well, in general. And puppets. Cook for boys and girls, and wash the dishes, boys and girls as well. And cooking is everything. It's love, it's social issues, it's art, it's physics, chemics, math, proportion, equation, what's the name of it? Fractions. And it's very good. It's very important in their education. And to weave. It's very good. Remember to weave. It will help with this neurotransmitter called irisina, or irisin. And it's completely linked with the learning process. It's when you discover things, when you realize something, when you, oh wow, I found something. It's linked, according to science, it's linked with a regular movement. It can be to weave, to swim, to run, to walk. The 5 senses, so there is a lot of exercise to enhance the 5 senses. And this is very good from very little. So they can walk on different textures, they can go through a piece of clothes and they can feel the fabric, anything with the hearing, touching, sight, taste, smell. Always nice stuff, don't put paper and hot, I don't know, something terrible. It has to be nice, and then the senses gets more subtle, and then there is a correlation. If you have your sense developed outside, it will develop the sense inside. It's extremely pedagogical. At night, go outside at night to camp. Yeah, to camp is extremely pedagogical and therapeutical and very good for social relationship, for interpersonal intelligence. And the kids, I remember only that when they go out, actually. Yeah, and if you can't camp outside because of the insurance and the whatever security problem you have with the school, maybe you can camp inside the school in the patio, and it's good too. It really changed the ambiance, the relationship, the atmosphere. It's beautiful, and you camp with them, of course, somewhere, and you spend a fun night, hopefully. And they would remember that. Oh, and then we all do the breakfast, and the director of the school would bring the breakfast to that. And you can do wonderful things. I saw that in many schools, and when they do it, they never regret, never. Go outside. The ideal situation would be go outside once a week, at least in the town community to see something from real life every week. That would be the best. So do a research, or have somebody talking about a special subject topic. Once a month, I would suggest do a trip inside the country to know somewhere else. And once a year to go outside of the country to do international trips, and maybe to do fair and some activities to raise the money. So they learn fair economy at the same time. And this is, according to me, it's the most pedagogical thing to travel and to know things from firsthand. And it would help with languages, and it would help with social science. It would help with the future when they want to do something. They know how this world is working. And it's full for multicultural approach and for peace culture. On this picture, these guys, they did a trek. It was oh my God, it was 1 week trekking. It was 60 kilometers, 60. And we had to go to a pass. It was 5,000 meters. It was the Andes. And they did so well. I mean, those kids, they changed completely after this trek. I mean, there was a girl, she was kind of lazy. After that, she was so strong. She was so adamant. She was like, you know, when you have strong will, I think, yes. She changed completely. There was another girl. Yes, they were tired, but they were so proud because they did it. And it was very for stamina to be when you have strong will, when you want to do things, it builds character in English. Yeah, it builds character. Thank you. Then again, go at night. Here you can see it was a visit of an archaeological place in Paraguay, and it's good because at night you have to face darkness, and it's outside darkness, but it's your own fear as well. So it's very good for the pedagogical process of human being. And sometimes the kids they don't know the night, and the night is half the other half of the time. Or the other slide is we were at the beach in Peru, and it was in circle, and we had the fire, and we had the wind, and we had the sand and the earth, and we had the water. It was by the sea, by the way. So all the elements were there, and we can work with the 5 elements. The 5th element is ether. And it's very good. It's very pedagogical. You know, the kids sometimes they are separated from bathing things like fire, air, touch the sand, the soil, the earth, the water. No, you're going to get wet. And so what? It's very important. It's part of the planet. And they know how to take care of that after that. You see? And it's beautiful. And it was a beautiful night with many surprises. To cook outside, this is part of the camping part. And their architecture, archaeology. If you have the chance to go on the site, a real site of real archaeology, and talk with the archaeologist, the person working with archaeology, do some excavation with the expert, of course. It will make archaeology alive. It will make history alive. It will make remote history alive. See, 2 pieces of advice. Don't go to battlefields because some sensitive kids, they can have a very bad time and not more. And don't go to museum where the energy is very low and it's all dusty and old, because it's so low that the kids, they don't like it at all. They prefer outside and do something active. Or a movie, in that case, if you can't go to the field. After the biointelligence tools, we have those a set of tools, and it's called biomorphic pedagogical tools. Biomorphic tools is completely different. It has to do with intuitive intelligence. And I don't recommend you to do too much. It's going to be like 5-10 minutes. It's like, for instance, telepathy, or to guess it's more like energetic. Like you can have a box of little balls of colors, colorful balls, and then you close your eyes and you try to figure out which one is, you close your eyes and you figure out which one's a green ball, and you take it out and say, oh, this is green. Or reverse, you can ask, pick up the red ball so they can feel. It's called DG sense or DG reading. It's reading through the skin. and they can figure out colors. They can figure, like here we can see they do chords. So, you know, when you pair up cards, it's called the memory game. But in that case, the cards, you don't guess. You feel this card has the same energy as this card, and you flip over and they are the same. So it's not a guessing game, it's called extrasensory perception game. I want to mention Dr. Shishida when he talks about the kid and this kind of biomorphic tools and capacities, I would say paranormal capacities or empathic, intuitive capacities. Dr. Shishida said that years ago, he was talking about this. He was saying, more than children reasoning as Homo sapiens, and I do think the same as well. There are children whose sensitivity is so acute that they can perceive feelings, what one thinks, what you are going to ask, the atmosphere of a place, the past, the future, what is happening at the physical level, affective level, mental and astral level. And they are able to simultaneously work in all these levels. So that's open another array of tools, and that's why we call that biomorphic tools linked to extrasensory perception. And talking about that, it's good to take the children in places with a lot of negative ions. Negative ions are placed with very fresh air, very pure, when they can refresh their entire bodies, and I say bodies with an S, physical bodies, emotional bodies, intuitive bodies, spiritual bodies. And they can download all the little things that bother them and reload with very good fresh energy. And it's called places with a lot of negative ions, like a waterfall, beach, seaside, lake, non-polluted rivers, and well, in that case, in the slide is a beautiful waterfall of Iguazu, Brazil. And then there is a third set of tools, it's called bioreconnection tools, which are all set of tools to reconnect with oneself. And in the 7-petal school, this will correspond to the petal, the violet petal. And this all has to do with inner growth or inner development. For instance, anything like, it's as well, it can be called self-knowledge or self-science. And I really like that. And it has to be part of education nowadays. It's very important to be fulfilled inside, to know who we are and why we are here. It can include, for instance, active philosophy, cosmogenesis, universal geometry, energetic anatomy, meta-languages, symbols, for instance, archetypes, Mayan calendar, universal laws, breathing exercise, mandala, relaxation exercise, awareness to the body, inner connection exercise, mindfulness. Mindfulness will definitely be here, and it's a beautiful set of programs already set up for us. Any kind of yoga, remember I told you, duo yoga or yoga duplex, we can call this duplex, acro yoga, acrobatic yoga, martial art, Gurdjieff dances. Gurdjieff dances, it's very good if you have a chance to have that. We have an all set of tools for peace culture. And we have an old program called Schools and the Sea of Peace. I will do a video only on that, and you have the books in the internet on the website. And that's another array of beautiful tools to have peace inside, peace with others, peace inside the school, peace in the community, peace in the country, and peace in the world. Remember, education and peace culture goes together, and it works very well. Then we can have silence. It's part of the bioreconnection tools. Moments of nothing is part of that. A moment of self-observation, observation of nature, but without anybody telling you, blah, 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 this is not just you observe and you decode what you see, what you feel. For instance, you watch a star, you decode that, but nobody should talk at that moment. It's a secret moment where the children and the young people, by decode, they perceive what's beyond that. And it's kind of an unloading or downloading of information and codify information of nature, for instance. It's beautiful. It's called conscious observation in silence. Then we have tools for babies. Don't forget the babies. Sometimes, oh, they're just babies. They don't need anything. Babies are extremely important. The 6 first months are crucial. I do recommend this book. It's called Continuum from Jean Liedloff. And it's beautiful. She said the babies needs contact, needs to feel safe. A baby should never cry, for instance. If they cry more than 10 seconds, it's a disaster, according to her. And I do agree. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful what she did. A summary. Okay, no, what we are leaving the linear presentation to a mandalic presentation, to the circle, to the spiral, to the mental map. We leave the flat thing, like 2D, a board or a piece of paper that's 2D, it's flat, for 3D's approach. Like use the ceiling, use the floor, like you can write on the floor. It's so nice to learn how to write on the floor with a piece of chalk or on the sand. Use the 4 walls. You can do some painting, for instance, inside the box, and you paint, it's called involvente, I don't know in English, like it's all around you. It's a surrounded an environment, so you paint on the above, the ceiling, the sides of the box, and the below, and you are inside the painting. That's starting to work with a 3D approach and gives more synapses, more connection in the brain. Switch all the ugly sounds from the bell to the many sounds in the bad acoustics of the dining room where they eat, for nice sounds as well. If you have the chance to have loudspeaker around you, it's called surrounding sound. And appreciate silent moment and silent places, like you can have a silent room or do walk in silence. It's very pedagogical. From being still and don't move for 8 hours, glue on a chair, this is impossible. Now it has to be movement, 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 movement. Remember, endorphin, serotonin, dopamine, all that is through movement and motivation. From dirty colors like gray, brown, to vibrant colors, beautiful colors, and light from the sun, good lighting, or indirect light if you have to use artificial light. And from somebody who teach you all the time, starts the self-learning, self-investigation, research, activities in group, team building, and cooperative games. That's what the new education is made of. Now I want to finish with what we call the cone of learning. That is from Edgar Dale. He said, you learn, what he said, after 2 weeks, we will remember only 10% of what we read. Very little. And most of the education is still reading. This makes no sense. We remember 20% of what we hear, like hear somebody. What we see, it would be 30%, like looking at the pictures, big drawings, movies. 50% of what we hear and see. So an exhibit, a demonstration, do something, do the experiment yourself. What we say and participating in a discussion, giving a talk would be 70%, and 90% would be what we both say and do, like theater, dramatic presentation, simulating a real experience, doing the real thing. 90%. This is the education we want. I want. We do. The children are crying for, the young people, they are dying for. And 100% when you can teach. So this is wonderful. It will replace the exam. If an older kid can teach the younger kid, or even a kid to their peer of the same age, if they can teach something, you see, we divide like this, we sum up like this, we do like that, this math or this whatever. They are good teachers between themselves. Actually, there is I saw a class in China. It was self-math. They were learning math between themselves. And there was a teacher in the corner just enjoying himself. And they were asking me something if they were stuck, but the teacher was not teaching the class. And they were flying with math. They were doing so good. It's called self-taught math. I love this class. So you remember something when you can teach. So if the kids can do an exam for the other kids, or if they can teach among themselves, or the kids can read for the young kids. I mean, this is the most pedagogical things. And this is a long-term memory. And it's pure helping each other and cooperation. And that's the new education we do want. And of course, a lot of love. Love can help with everything. Even if you don't have the right techniques, if there is a lot of love, goodwill, care, attention, listening, it will always go well. And this is what we want to do with the 7 Petal School. We will see later. So thank you so much, and please take care. Remember, Shishida used to say, if you love your child, you are already teaching him or her. I repeat, this is so beautiful. Dr. Shishida from Japan said, if you love your child, you are already teaching him or her. And that the essence of education is at the base of everything. Thank you so much. We see you at the next video. You take care. Thank you.